Well, if you didn't know, high school football season is in full gear, and our sister station WMMP has the great pleasure of broadcasting the best local games on MyTV Charleston. And the Joye Law Firm partners with us to highlight outstanding student athletes each week. And Ken Harrell joins us now to talk about their scholarship grants. Ken, good to see you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Thank you for being here. And why did the Joye Law Firm want to get involved in honoring student athletes?
Well, it was a great fit. We've had a scholarship program, Tessa, for 8 years for high school students locally and statewide. And when we were approached about this, we're like, well, what a great fit, because at the end of the year, we honor 2 athletes each week, and then at the end of the year, there's a $5,000 scholarship for a Scholar Athlete of the Year.
Wow.
And so it was a nice supplement to a program we already had.
That's right, and that would be the Joye Scholarship program. Now,
Right.
why was that program started initially?
Really, I just copied a buddy. I had a good friend in Charlotte who had a very successful firm, and I heard him speak about a program that they started where they gave out several scholarships each year, and came back and talked to, at the time, my 2 partners, and said, why don't we do this in the Low Country?
Right.
And so this is our 9th year. We give 6 $2,000 scholarships each year to local kids.
And that is awesome. And every little bit counts now, because, if you didn't know, going to college can be really expensive.
Absolutely.
Now, how are the student athletes selected? Is it by the school they're nominated? Do their coaches nominate? Or are you watching these athletes? How does that work?
It's a combination, but each week the high schools, there's a featured game with Friday Night Rivals, a local high school football game. And the 2 schools will each pick a winner from their school, a combination of the coaches, the administration, but they're clearly looking for a kid who will be a good ambassador for the school, and they've been very successful. We have met some of the most amazing kids through this program, so it's been a lot of fun for us.
Right.
It's something that all the lawyers and the rest of the staff, we've really enjoyed participating with it.
Absolutely. Now, besides, their prowess on the football field and things of that nature, and just their overall character, is there any other special things that they have to do in order to compete? Because really, at the end of the day, they're nominated. You pick them as the athlete of the week, but the goal really is, to get that scholarship money. So is there anything extra that they have to do? Well,
they do at the end of the year, and these are great kids. I mean, academically, community involvement. Unfortunately, you hear a lot more about the Jameis Winston type situations, but there's a lot of great kids out there involved in athletics at the high school and college level as well. And at the end of the year, each one of our winners throughout the weeks for all the games, they have the opportunity to submit a brief video. Everything's electronic now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's paper. We're grown up, but
right.
they can put together a short video basically talking about why they would be a great recipient of the Scholar Athlete of the Year scholarship. Really tough. I mean, last year we sat there.
Now, a panel, how many people looking at this?
It was probably about 6 or 7 of us.
Okay.
And we gathered and watched it, and we just sort of looked at each other like, how are we going to pick one winner from these kids?
Yeah.
But we had a great kid, D'Angelo Rivers, from the Military Magnet, was the winner of our scholarship last year.
Yeah.
But a very tough decision.
Absolutely. Now, you were just mentioning your past recipient with Mr. Rivers. Do you ever hear from some of the kids that you've honored over the years since you started the program?
We do. We have kids that will just stop by the office and say, hey, just want to check back in. We actually have had one family, and we didn't know it at the time, but a Goose Creek High School family where we had their son won, and then 3 years later one of their daughters won.
Oh, wow.
And they've got another kid coming up who I think is maybe a junior this year. Who I'm sure will be applying.
That's a testament, to what the families are doing and all that stuff, and the
really
character of the kids.
Absolutely.
All right, Ken, on behalf of the Joye Law Firm being here this morning, thank you so much for what you're doing to help further the education of our students, especially the student athletes, because it's hard to be both,
It is.
It really is.
It's hard work.
All right, thanks. See you again soon.
Thank you.
Now over to Tom.
Well, today we're